Welcome to take 3. So last one lasted about 3 minutes before I got stuck on a program issue, and the first time I did the whole dang on video and found out that the most important part of the screen wasn't even being shown in the recording. So welcome to learning new things. Try to teach that tell that to my students too, and impress upon them that no matter what we try to learn, there's always some pain involved, and it's difficult, and you make mistakes. And one of the only ways to learn is make a mistake, fix it, and move on, and keep a cheery attitude for it. So I've been playing chess since I was in maybe fifth grade or so. My dad taught me, and I played and loved playing through eighth grade and then into high school. We didn't have a chess club, but we do at Alexander. So we, I played on my own, met one of my friends, Mr. Dayel, and played a lot with him, and I've had a great experience so far playing chess. And now am I great? No, I'm just a normal guy trying to improve and get better, and that's good. Good. It's a good analogy for life that you struggle to try to get better, and you have ups and downs, and you get better, and then you take a step back, or seemingly a step back, and we learn by our mistakes. That's a great thing. We learn by our failures, by our falling down, to get back up and learn new things. Learning is always a trying experience, and if it's easy, you might not be learning as much as you think. So we will hopefully learn together. What do I have to offer that other videos don't offer? Chess help videos? I'm not sure. Well, maybe my very positive attitude, and maybe I'll sing a little bit for you too, as we're doing here. But anyways, we will read. This is going to be volume 2 of beginners, how the pieces move. And so we're going to talk about castling, one of the most important one of the important moves that you can do to help protect yourself in a chess game. And even me, which I consider myself a middle of the ground player, and I've played thousands, maybe 10,000, 15,000 games in my life, that there is definitely a correlation between me castling and my percentage of winning. And so but it's easy to fall into a trap as you start to get better and learn that, hey, let me just do one more before castling. Let me do just one more before castling. And then all of a sudden, boom, you find yourself into a heap of trouble and there's no way out. So anyways, we are going to throw some pieces around the board here, and I'm just going to move some out. I'm not really playing a game or anything. Maybe I don't even move the black. Black gets no moves. There we go. That's funny. No moves for black. And then I'll magically pull a piece out here when I need to use it. So first off, castling, there's two sides to castle to. King side and queen side. So king side would be here. Why? This is the king. This is the queen. King, consider this half the king's half. Well, this half is the queen's half. It's not really, we don't really say that, but in terms of castling, you can think of it that way. This is the side that's closer to the king. This is the side closer to the queen. So you can castle to two places. So here we go. You can castle. Now, in order to castle, you have certain requirements. The first and most important is you cannot have any pieces in between them. Okay, the rook and the king. Second most important, you cannot have moved the king, and you cannot have moved the rook you're doing that with. Now there's two rooks, so you can castle two ways. You can move this rook and still have the option to castle over here if you meet the other requirements. So you can't have any pieces between them, and you can't have moved either of them. Well, what if I did this and moved it back? No, it's done. Your castling ability is lost for this game. What if you did this? Well, the castling ability to this side is lost, but not this side necessarily. Okay, so there's the two requirements. The first two requirements. So let's do the move, and then I'll add the other requirements in there. Okay, so as you ponder those two. So two to the left, or to the right, sorry. To the right, king moves to the right, and then you rook on the other side. Why would we do this? Enormously better position defensively. See this pawns here? You got this wall, you got this rook here, the king protecting all three of those. So wonderful position. Rook, the knight's actually protecting here, which that's a good knight position, but that's for another video. So now when to move these out and when you have to do this, I'm very slow to break this up if I have to, but only unless I have to, but that's a whole nother video as well. So this is a wonderful protected position. Okay, so now if you had none, suppose you didn't have any of these pawns here. Would you want to castle that side? Probably not. I mean, you still could, and there could be a situation where you would still want to, but your main reason to castle is to have protection of those pawns. Okay, so let's talk about the other side. Let's move the queen here. Let's move the bishop out. Let's move the knight out. And now here we go. I don't know where mom is. So let's suppose we are going to castle to the queen side. This is the queen side. So we can move 1, 2, in here. Same restrictions apply. You still have to have not moved either of these two pieces. The king goes 2 to that way and here. Notice though, this king is not protecting this pawn here. So, and if this knight wasn't here, you would not have a little bit of a vulnerability here with this opening here. So vulnerability, not protecting this. So someone could theoretically go here and hit this pawn. But it is still a good position. You can say, oh, well, I just move here. Well, yes, but it takes an extra move. And it's a game of inches or millimeters or nanometers or picometers. So chess is accumulation of tiny advantages or small advantages until they become a large advantage. So that's the real ticket there. Chess is the accumulation of small advantages until they become large advantages, and then you go in the game. Now, of course, people make big blunders, and that's all of a sudden a great advantage right away, especially in beginning players. But once you get higher and higher, it's really the small advantages, like a better position here or a little bit of better piece here. So, but that's future videos. So okay, so we have 2 ways to castle here. Okay, that was king side castling or queen side, 2. Yeah. Okay, king moves 2 to the side, they're castling, and the rook goes on the other side. You cannot have moved the king, and you cannot have moved the rook. It's a one-time a game thing. Now, I said those were 2 of the restrictions, and I said, well, there's kind of some more. Well, okay, let's go over them. Let me move this bishop out of the way. The board's a little cluttered, and move that there. Let's pull bishop out. Boom. Oops, wrong one. Computer's getting mad at me. Suppose we have a bishop here, and you wanted to castle. It's like, hey, yeah, I can castle. Look, ooh, no, you cannot castle through check. So here, look at this line of sight. Boom, boom, boom. And if you were to move here, you would be in check. By the way, I haven't really talked much about check. It's in order to win a game, you have to trap the king. Okay, and there could be no other way. You can't just take the king. Now, if I had my bishop here, I could just take the queen without saying anything. That you don't. But if I have my bishop here, you can't move something else out because your king cannot be just taken. The king must be pinned. And basically, it has to be trapped with no other moves. You can't just take it. So that's a check. So if you check here, that means you have to alleviate that issue. Now, for beginners, you definitely tell the person, if you're playing another beginner, hey, check. But in the tournament world of chess, it's actually considered rude to say check, because it's assuming you're kind of making an assumption that, hey, they can't see it. Well, if you're in a tournament, you're not going to be just a beginner, so you won't say it. But it's okay to say check, and we do so in our club too. But look, you could block, right? You could kill this, and to alleviate the check, right? Not just move. Don't always just think you have to move. You can block, and you can take to get rid of it. So in each situation warrants a different tactic. We could block with this too, even if you want. So you cannot castle through check at all, or out of check. So you cannot castle here to this side because you would be castling through this position. You can also not castle out of check. So if this was here, you could not castle out of check. So you could not castle out of check here. Now if this guy was here, then you could castle this way because you're not castling into check, out of check, or through check. I just added that extra one. Oh, tricky Mr. Shot. You cannot castle into check, out of check, or through check. Okay, along with those other 2 stipulations. You cannot have moved a piece. You cannot move this piece. You can't have anything in between. And now you can't castle into check, out of check, or through check. So make sure you understand that. So this would be, you cannot castle. You'd have to alleviate this concern. You can take it or take it. So you cannot castle into check, out of check, or through check. Okay, so this, but once you blocked it, right here. We blocked, yay! And then they move somewhere, and then you could castle because this is blocking it, so you're not castling into check, out of check, or through check. Now you can move this if you wanted. You're going to get your rook taken probably, but there you go. So you cannot castle into check, out of check, or through check. Whoops, king's over here. So this side I could not castle because it's no longer blocked. I couldn't castle to this side, but I could castle to this side if I wanted. King 2 to the left or 2 to the right. Okay. Sounds like I got a little situation. Hope everyone is enjoying themselves or at least surviving. And I know I miss all my students, and I'm missing teaching you guys and chemistry and physics and calculus and kids on campus and everyone. I miss everyone. So hope you're staying safe and at least get outside. There's my one thing. Go outside. I always tell my boys that. Go outside, have some fun, do some things, play in the mud, play in the dirt, ride your bike, throw a baseball, shoot a hoop, whatever you want to do outside, or just be imaginative. My boys like forging and fire too, and they'll act like they're hammering on a stick and building something. So, all right, see you later.